Hello to everyone. This is a horror story by MJM. It was a dark and stormy night, and Ramsey was driving home from a late shift at work. The rain was coming down in sheets, making it difficult to see the road ahead. Suddenly, her car started to sputter and she realized she was out of gas. She pulled over to the side of the road and tried to use her phone, but there was no signal. As she sat there, she noticed a light in the distance. It looked like a small cabin, and she decided to take her chances and walk towards it. As she got closer, she could see that the cabin was old and run down, with broken windows and a sagging roof. She knocked on the door, but there was no answer. She tried the handle, and to her surprise, it opened. Inside, the cabin was musty and dark, with cobwebs hanging from the ceiling. But there was a fire burning in the fireplace, and Ramsay was grateful for the warmth. As she sat down in front of the fire, she heard a creaking sound coming from upstairs. She tried to ignore it, telling herself that it was just the wind, but then she heard footsteps coming down the stairs. She turned around and saw a figure standing in the doorway. It was a man, tall and thin, with long hair and a beard. He was wearing tattered clothes and had a wide look in his eyes. Ramsay tried to back away, but the man lunged at her. She screamed and ran towards the door, but it wouldn't budge. She was trapped. The man grabbed her by the hair and dragged her back into the cabin. He tied her up and locked her in a closet. Ramsay could hear him pacing back and forth outside, muttering to himself incoherently. Hours passed, and Ramsay began to lose hope. She knew that no one was coming to save her. She was alone with a madman in the middle of now here. Days turned into weeks, and Ramsay was slowly losing her mind. She had no food or water, and the man would occasionally come in and taunt her. She could hear strange noises coming from the woods outside, and she knew that something was watching her. Finally, one day, the man came in and untied her. He told her that he was going to let her go, but only if she promised never to tell anyone what had happened. Ramsay agreed, desperate to escape. As she stumbled out of the cabin, she saw something moving in the shadows. It was a creature with glowing eyes and razor-sharp claws. Ramsay realized that she had been trapped not just by a madman, but by something much more sinister. She ran as fast as she could, not daring to look back. When she finally made it back to civilization, she told the police what had happened, but they didn't believe her. They thought she was crazy. Years went by, and Ramsay tried to forget about what had happened to her. But every time it rained, she would remember the cabin in the woods and the horrors that lay within. Thank you for listening to my story.